Are you familiar with fresh live fish or more with the frozen products? It may mostly depend on where you live, and if you're lucky to live near the coastline or fishing ports, you have an easy access to their fresh local seafoods. Those products are delivered to the inland cities or remote areas, taking a couple of days or previously frozen before being dispatched. For those grew up with the fresh products, this gap in the transport process makes a notable difference in their quality. Freezing pre-cooked ingredients makes relatively less difference, but when it comes to freezing fresh ones, it degrades the flavor a lot. Food with high amount of fat can minimize the gap, but still cannot reach the level of fresh ones in taste and texture. Usually it loses like 20% of original quality. A part of the reason is the oxidation. Foods also gradually get dry, and that accelerates the oxidation process as well, both in the meat and fat. It decreases the moisture retention, which then affects the texture. Cold temperature storage under -18 degrees Celsius will slow down these reactions, but they don't completely stop. The juice from the fish meat, which is also called drip, is extracted during the alteration process of the tissues. The problem is the drip from the cells leaks out when it's defrosted, in which the flavorful element is contained and enhances the fishy smell as the result. Therefore, the best way to enjoy the material's inherent taste is to consume fresh, but not all seafood makes this possible. Shellfish, such as shrimps, drastically drops the quality after death, so it is usually frozen immediately on board, unless it is distributed to the local market. This thanks to the developing preservation technology of nowadays. Some countries, by the way, require the suppliers to freeze particular kinds of seafood for the purpose of parasite control, so please follow the government guidelines of your area. Now, I will show you the proper handling procedures when it comes to freezing and thawing. But please note, once again, the best way to taste the most of the material is to eat the unfrozen fresh ones, and freezing them basically is the last resort. This is just the proper handling procedures when it comes to freezing and thawing for people not consuming them all at once. First, you want to break down a whole fish into blocks as simpler form as possible. Break it down to 3 or 5 major parts, no blood, organs, bones, nor skin. If there is some room for moisture, bacteria grows there. Some sushi chefs leave fish skins on meat until just before serving, in order to prevent the chi part oxidizes and its vivid color turns darker, which ruins the appearance. But otherwise, this skinning is better simply for the longer life. During the cooling process, there is a steady temperature range in which materials get crystallized. In this temperature zone, it is more likely the cells expand and the tissues break. The key is therefore how to let it go through this range as quickly and as uniformly freeze it as possible. The rapid freezing technology is available for industrial use, but maybe not for small businesses. To demonstrate the similar effect, line up the trimmed seafood onto a shallow metal tray, not stacking each other, making sure the freezer works properly and is cold enough. It depends on the kinds of seafood and their conditions though, preferred to be used in 2 to 3 weeks. For thawing, you can put them under running water. But to keep the maximum quality, thawing slowly in the fridge helps it defrost uniformly. Defrosting materials brings out the drip, which affected quality as explained earlier. Wipe out with paper towel and rub it with another fresh towel, so it won't absorb the drip back into the meat.